Today on the Chris Ventura Show, hey, well, it's my first podcast, so what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about me. I introduce you to me, and, well, we'll just have to see what happens. All right, well, here I am. It's my first podcast. I don't know, really. Okay, why would anybody do this? Well, I'm going to explain everything to you in a second. And everybody's been asking me, well, what is this about? What are you going to talk about? It's not what am I going to talk about. It's more of a question as to, are you going to listen? But anyways, this is what it's all about, okay? I haven't done anything like this in about 10 years. Everything's just sort of lined up recently that encouraged me to do this, and I don't know, gave me the motivation to do it. I've been putting stuff on hold for like the past decade to just continue doing what I like to do, and this is what I like to do. I wanted to get into radio a long time ago, and I did it for a little tiny while, and it was very interesting and cool, and I met some interesting people, and saw some really interesting things, and just haven't really done anything since then. Well, I just I don't know what it was. Last month, I just decided, well, okay, let's just give it a shot. Let's just do a podcast and see how that goes. And I wanted to do stuff on YouTube, and, well, you know what? Making films takes a lot longer than I thought, and it's another interest of mine, and I don't have the time really to do that. Even though I was laid off recently, I don't really have the time to do the film thing. So what I really like to do is radio, and radio was a big influence in my life growing up, and mostly, I guess, talk radio. I've listened to talk radio since, I guess, junior high school, I guess. So talk radio means a lot to me. Not the kind of talk radio that I guess you're more apt to hear, like political talk or things like that. No, I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in people talking one-on-one with each other, getting to know people, having fun. I don't want to sit down and yell and argue and, talk about current events too much. You got to be informed, but, I mean, just have a little bit of fun and be a little bit more informed. Basically, my intent on doing this is to enlighten you a little, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. We'll try and entertain you, hopefully. I'll find a way to entertain you and stuff like that. As time goes on, for the production levels will get a little bit better. I'll have people on the phone. I'll call my friends. We'll talk to them, have a little bit of fun, have some guests in here, talk a little bit. But these are the things. Let me explain to you. These are the things that all lined up recently to get me interested in doing this. Okay, so I had this weird epiphany one night to go ahead and start doing this. So I said, okay, in March I'll start. Well, it's February, and I'm doing it right now. And I'm doing it right now because I need a little bit of practice before I start. And I figure, okay, I'll do it a week before March. In March, I'll really get going. And, you'll see some of the changes coming that I have in mind to, I guess, add to the show, make it a little bit more interesting and stuff. Okay, so here's the things that started. So I had that epiphany, yes. And then a guy I used to listen to on the radio on KLSX 97.1 FM Talk. He left the station a few months before that, and he announced a couple weeks ago that he was going to be doing his own podcast. And I thought, well, that's interesting. That's cool. I had the same idea to do that, and now he's going to do that. That's cool. And then I find out that the studio that I used to do my show at is closing down this month, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Okay, well, there's some push for you to do something. I mean, it's been such a long time, and the place you used to do your show is gone. It's going to be gone in like a week or two. So do something. And then KLSX 97.1 FM Talk here in LA decided to flip formats, and it was a business decision, and everybody that I listened to, well, I got to be honest, I didn't listen to everybody on the station, but I was a fan of some of the on-air talent, and they're all gone now, and I've been listening to that station since 95, I think. About 95. So, we're talking about 14 years, 13, 14 years. I think they started in 95, 96. It's about at the end of junior high, the beginning of high school for me. And it was just a big influence for me to really get interested in radio. I mean, yeah, it's one thing to like sit there and play music and whatever, but to just to get to know your audience and have fun with your friends and sit in the studio and have a good time. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a really great career. It sounds like fun to me. So that station was a big influence for me to want to do something in radio. And so having had that station in my ears for the past 12, 13, 14 years, and then have it just go away was kind of saddening for me. And going to school for radio was kind of blah, whatever, because when I went to school for radio, I did it a year after I had already done it. So when I went in, I was kind of like, been there, done that, I know how to do that, you don't need to tell me how to do that. And it was just kind of boring for me. So I decided to flip my major and study business, and I don't know why, but I just figured I need something a little bit more solid, I guess, in my background, business, and it was something that I guess, whatever, give me a good degree to later on down the line. But it was nothing I wanted to do, of course. It was just a quick out because I was going back and forth from school, and I decided, okay, I need to focus, do something, let's just do this whole business crap and whatever. So now I'm done with that. And I'm not happy, so I'm going to go back to doing this. And, I mean, it's just a podcast. No, I'm not on the radio. But with the death of FM talk here in Los Angeles, I guess, pretty much, I don't know if there's going to be talk radio in Los Angeles. The format change was a business decision because... well, talk radio is an expensive format to run. You have to pay your on-air personalities. You have to pay the crew to work on the shows, which is usually a pretty big crew. And then you have public appearances and things like that. Yeah, it's sponsored, but there's still costs involved and way more than it would be for a radio station. So now so KLSX now has had the guts removed and all the personality is completely gone, and it's very sad. And now it's just an automated music system, and who knows when you'll actually hear a real voice on there? Maybe in a month, I don't know. Apparently they're going to have DJs, but right now they're playing music, and I don't know if that works. They're trying to compete with Kiss FM. I don't know. Doesn't sound very reasonable to me, but the reasoning, I guess, is to cut costs, and they did. They got rid of everybody, and there you go. So that's that. So a lot of the on-air talent there decided to move along and go online and do podcasts, and it just seems strange that it all comes around the same time. I just a few weeks ago had this epiphany, it's not an idea. Podcasting's been around for a long time. An epiphany to just start my own. And I was like, well, okay, I can do that. And so here I am, trying it out. And I have a lot of ideas and a lot of plans for the show, but we have to start somewhere, and today is that somewhere. This is really not really the show. This is just a practice run, like a run for a few of my friends to listen to, and if you happen to not be my friend and you're listening to this, well, thank you for listening. I appreciate the support, and we'll see where this all goes. Listening to some of the on-air talent and their broadcasts from earlier this week, they've gone online and done podcasts, and they're very interesting, and they're more real and raw than anything I've ever heard from them on the radio, and I think it's really great, and I could really get into this, really doing something online. And, I mean, if there's going to be cutbacks in on-air, on terrestrial radio, and then maybe online is the way to go.